were some of those issues? Because we were watching, as you know, you've invited the media to watch the field tests. What we saw in our news reports was there seemed to be some problems with transmission. Most of the time, the machines apparently went through, except for a few times. But there were some times, like in Taguig, for example, hindi may transmit yung resulta. There was no signal or something like that. What percentage of the tests were smooth and what percentage had some problems?
Well, it's very important that you ask that, and it's important that the people know that there will be issues. I mean, it will be naive to think that nothing will happen. The important thing is that we know what to do when something comes up. And out of the site survey, we already know that about only 65% of the precincts will have a steady telecommunications capacity. So the question is what to do about it. And what happened in Taguig is exactly that. There will be precincts where the transmission using the GPRS or the regular cell phone networks won't be available, and that's where you resort to, for instance, in this case, the satellite transmission. And this is exactly what we expect in this kind of test. What to do when all of a sudden you cannot transmit using the cell phone networks, and you have to resort to the satellite transmission or even to a contingency transmission. I will say more than in the case of the field test, we have a smooth transmission in about between 90 and 95%, but there were a remaining number of precincts where we had to resort to satellite transmission.
Did the lab tests lead you to expect that you would get that percentage of problematic precincts?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, we were expecting worse due to the realities that we found in the service. We know that in about 35% of the precincts, we won't have a coverage with the regular networks. That's why we're investing also in satellite antennas for these elections.
So 35% roughly of the precincts you expect you'll have to transmit via satellite rather than through the cellular signals?
Yes.
And we have
correct.
the sufficient satellite capacity to do that, or are we lining it up?
Well, we already acquired 5,000 satellite antennas, and what we're doing now is the complete study of the different precincts, also to find out which precincts can share or can be clustered in order to share antennas. However, this week we're completing this analysis, and most probably we're going to also resort to buy a new batch of antennas so we can be sure of this.